Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome to the first Historic Brawl gameplay video from the new Tarkir Dragonstorm set. And we are playing Ugin Eye of the Storms. Now, we played Ugin on the channel the other day in a mono green deck in standard, and normally I wouldn't like to play the Brawl / Commander version of a card we saw in a standard deck, because largely, you know, it's going to be similar kind of things. But I'm playing Ugin for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is, one, it is actually a completely different deck to the mono green version. You know, there is no colour in this at all, obviously, with Ugin as your commander. And two, I think Ugin is so powerful, I would not be surprised if it got banned. So we have 3 Ugins on Arena. I think 3 Ugins in entire Magic. Ugin Eye of the Storm, which is brand new. Ugin the Ineffable, which is reasonably old from, I think, War of the Spark, which is also very powerful. But then Ugin the Spirit Dragon has been banned in Brawl because it is so powerful. I would not be surprised to see Ugin Eye of the Storm banned as well. So, as a reminder, who is Ugin Eye of the Storm? A 7 mana, 7 Lordy Planeswalker, has 2 static abilities, which is what makes it bonkers. The first one is when you cast a spell, X up to 1 target permanent, that's 1 or more colours. So you get that even if Ugin is countered because it's a card trigger. And then the other static ability is whenever you cast a colourless spell, X up to 1 target permanent, that's 1 or more colours. So essentially it turns all your colourless spells into removal. And because Ugin is a commander, all their spells are colourless. So every single card in our deck is a removal spell when Ugin is on the battlefield. And that's why it's so insane. You know, you could literally just get rid of the loyalty abilities and he would be bonkers. But he does have loyalty abilities. What are they? +2, you gain 3 life and draw a card. That's really good. You know, puts its loyalty up to 9, which is very hard to beat down. Gains you life and obviously draws a card. 0 to add 3 colourless mana, which is great because often, you know, the turn you play Ugin, you can add 3, cast another colourless spell, and basically you've taken out your opponent's best and second best permanents. And then -11, search the library for any number of colourless non-land cards, exile them, shuffle. Till the end of the turn, you may cast those cards without paying their mana cost. So again, our entire deck is colourless. So that is essentially -11, play every single non-land card in your deck. Apart from that, we've got a couple which have X in there, casting cost, and when you cast cost for 0, X has to be 0. So, you know, okay, every single card apart from I think 3 in our deck we can play 3 or 4, and that is insane. And you don't have to play your entire deck. You probably just pick the 5 cards you need to win. Ugin is absolutely insane. I think I've lost 4 games out of maybe 25, 30. 2 of them was because I got mana screwed, kept 2 landers and didn't draw any more lands. 1 was against a mirror match. I'd already won a mirror match, and I got to a stage of just conceding mirror matches because they're just boring to play because you can't really do much. And then the one I did decide to play, I didn't record. The mirror matches boil down to who can get down something like Cityscape Leveler first, because it's really hard to remove with, you know, with our deck. So yeah, and one of the other ones, I think the other one was a really, really fast mono white Hylia deck. You just blow through opponents. Often your cut games are 1 or 2 minutes long because you ramp up into Ugin, you cast Ugin, your opponent scoops. It is quite funny. So I'm not going to go through every card in the deck, but I will briefly touch on. Our first long pile is ramp. Now normally, well, I like playing ramp, but normally you probably wouldn't play this much ramp. Yes, Ugin is expensive at 7, but we have a lot of ramp. But when all your ramp cards turn into removal, there's no reason not to play them. You know, Guardian Idol turns into 2, you know, create a mana dork and remove your opponent's best permanent. So I'm going to say it now. You will see in some of the games, I was very, very stupid. I played Arcane Signet and got really confused why it wouldn't work. Arcane Signet taps for 1 mana of your commander's colour identity. Ugin is colourless, so it doesn't tap for mana. That, for some reason, escaped me. So there are some games where you'll see me play Arcane Signet and get very confused why it's on tapping for mana. Then I figured it out and took it out. Just some cards to highlight. I think Warm Power Stone, Hedron Archive, really powerful. 3 and 4, tap for 2. Dreamstone Hedron, 6 mana, tap for 3. Astral Cornucopia, you can get down for a lot. I really like Rune Card Obelisk, 4 mana, taps for 2, put 2 charge counters on it. Then you can sack it to seek a card with highest mana value among cards in your library with mana value X or less. where X is the number of charge counters. If you get 10 charge counters and sack it, you can get a Ulamog or well, I think actually both Ulamogs or Kozilek. That's also 10, so you can get some pretty beefy boys. Next up, we have some additional ramp, but not specifically for Ugin. Some of it is. So like Automated Artificer taps for 1 colorless, but only you only spend it for activating ability to cast an artifact spell. Obviously, vast majority of our mana rocks or ramp is artifacts. Things like Idol of Force Gods are, well, that's an artifact, but it Heralds the End is an Eldrazi, so it can't cast that. But Cloud Key, we can pick artifact and reduce the cost of all the artifacts. Urza's Incubator, because we have quite a few Eldrazi, we often name Eldrazi, and again, it turns into a, reduce the cost of creature spells by 2, but also remove your opponent's best permanent. Forsaken Monument basically goes in every colourless deck. Buffs our colourless creatures, makes whenever we tap a permanent for colourless, we add an additional colourless, which is all our permanents tap for mana. And whenever we cast a colourless spell, we gain 2 life. And then Baby Ugin, it's still a 6 mana, 4 Lord Planeswalker, has a static ability, colourless spells, we cast 2 less to cast. And then we can -3 destroy permanents 1 or more colours, or +1 to exile the top card of our library face down. We can look at it. We create 2/2 colourless spirit creature token. When that token leaves the battlefield, we put the exile card into our hand. So it is ramp, but delayed ramp. Next up, we just have some value. Moon Silver Key, we can pay 1 and tap it, search for a artifact or with a mana ability or a basic land card. Reveal it, put into our hand, then shuffle. Forsaken Monument does count as having a mana ability, even though it doesn't tap, so we can get it with Moon Silver Key. Zenith Chronicler, whenever a player casts their first multicolour spell each turn, each other player draws a card. Great if we're playing against a commander that's multicoloured. Obviously, none of our spells are multicoloured, so our opponents aren't going to get value from it. Star for Completion has a whole host of modes, including Proliferate, which having a Planeswalker commander is really good. Mystic Forge, we can cast artifact and cardless spells from the top of our library, and we can pay 1 life and tap it to exile the top card of our library if we don't want to cast that spell. Might Zone and Weak Zone is just a bit of an everything card. We can tap it to add 2, but it can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, but we can also draw 2 cards or give an opponent creature -5/-5. Chimil, I'm a big fan of. 6 mana, spells we control can't be countered. At the beginning of your end step, discover 5, meaning exile cards from top of your library until you find a card with mana value 5 or less. You can cast that card without paying its mana cost, or if you don't, put it into your hand, put the rest of the cards on the bottom of the library in a random order. Because it counts as a cast trigger, it does obviously trigger Ugin. Echoes of Eternity is just bonkers. Basically, it doubles up all our colourless spells and doubles up all our colourless triggers. Well, if a trigger ability of a colour spell causes another trigger ability, it basically doubles it up. So again, doubles up Ugin itself, but also doubles up all the triggers. Market Back Walker, XX, enders with X +1/+1 counters on it. Then we can pay 4 to put another +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, we draw cards equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on it. And then Kozilek's command 2 and X, we can choose to create X, basically spawn tokens we can sack to add 1 colourless. Target player scries X and draws. Exile target creature with mana value X or less, or exile X target cards from graveyards. We are often doing the create with the Scions and then probably scrying and drawing, just as basic additional ramp. And next up, we just have some other creatures, non-Eldrazi creatures. Crashing Drawbridge, it's a 0/4 for 2, which is, it's a defender. It's good for the early game, but also we can tap it to give creatures to control haste in a turn. We're going to get some big beefy creatures onto the board, so giving them haste is pretty good. Patchwork Automaton, the amount of artifacts we have in our deck, this can get quite big. Karn, again, we have some quite expensive artifacts, like Cityscape Leveler, so this could be like an 8/8, and then it does add the number of, it does add colourless mana equal to the number of artifacts we control, but it can't be spent on non-artifact spells. Wormcoil Engine, Cityscape Leveler, and Stonecoil Serpent. Again, there's so many multicolored commanders, this can just really get in their way. And next up, we do have the Eldrazi's. Matter Reshaper, Thought Not See It, the Vow of Destiny, has a similar trigger to Ugin. When we cast it, we exile target permanents 1 or more colours. Sire of 7 Deaths is just value. 7 mana, 7/7 with 7 keywords. First Strike, Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, Lifelink, Ward. Pay 7 life. I don't know why Wizards went Eldrazi 7. Breaker of Creation. When it enters, we gain. When we cast, we gain 1 life each for each colourless permanent we control. Lands count as colourless permanents, so this can often be 10, 15, even 20. And then we have the Eldrazi Titans, Kozilek, 2 Ulamogs, and 2 Emrakul's. And next up, kind of everything else. No Elemental Blast can be a counter spell. It's a counter spell for multicoloured spells or destroy multicoloured permanents. It's great countering our opponent's commander, which they do not see coming. Liberator, 3 mana, 1/2 with flash and flying. And when we may cast colourless spells and night for spells as though they had flash, and it can grow. Palantir of Orthanc is an additional card drop, also a way to damage our opponents. The One Ring is the One Ring. Chain Veil is really good. It's from Pioneer Remasters on Arena. Basically, we can pay for and tap it. For each Planeswalker we control, we can basically activate its loyalty ability again, as though none of its loyalty's ability to be activated this turn. It's a bit of a weird way of saying it, but if we don't activate a loyalty ability of a Planeswalker, we do lose 2 life at the end of our turn. Paradox Engine, we have so many mana rocks, this just basically wins the game. Contagion Engine, when it enters, we put a -1/-1 counter on each creature target player controls, so a good way to shrink our opponent's board or kill our opponent's board. Then we can pay for and tap, proliferate twice. So if we want to get up to that -11, this really helps us. Then Godfarrow's Statue to just tax our opponent and ping our opponent, and then Portal Phyrexia. Great way to act as a mini board wipe, and we can get back obviously any creature from the graveyard. And what's funny about obviously all these expensive spells is if we can cast Ugin for 7, the next turn we can cast a 10-drop. Unless we've used treasures for Ugin, because we had 7 mana to cast Ugin, and then we get a 0 to add 3. So if we don't have any additional, we can cast all our 10 drops. We can cast a portal without any problems. Mana base is a lot of cards that produce colourless mana. We do have some artifacts and energies of Fomori Vault and Inventor's Fair, which I can't see. There we go. Causes the gain life if we have enough artifacts. So yeah, this is just absolutely bonkers. It is so powerful, and so I would not be surprised if it is banned. But yes, watch out for the arcane signet trap that I fell into, learn from my mistakes, and laugh at me in the gameplay. But speaking of the gameplay, I hope you all really enjoy it, and I'll see you in the gameplay. Opponent goes first, and we're up against one of the new dragons from Tarkir. I think we can keep this. Play out the raceway. Go up to speed 2. I do it as well. Because you get a Surveil land and it's untapped and all that. Overlord. Let's get down the Signet. Oh, Rhystic Study, everyone's favourite. We could... So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I think we just hold up Kozilek's command X2. We'll probably scry and draw. And you've got to do it now. Because they're going to destroy our Arcane Signet. Why? I'm being very dumb. Why won't it let me? We can pay. I don't understand why it's not letting me do that. I have no idea what was going on there. That shouldn't have happened. Is it because it can't produce coloured mana because Ugin's colourless? Probably. Well, we will get down at It That Heralds. Yeah, I think because the Arcane Signet produces coloured mana, and obviously Ugin is colourless, I assume that's why it didn't work. But we can Ugin now. Let's get rid of the Rhystic Study. What does Awaken the Damned do? Let's see if what creature have they got in there to get back. Nothing at the moment, so let's get rid of the World Shaper. They can get a land card back all they want. It only goes to hand as well, not the battlefield. So we can get out of a Chain Veil. And then activate it. Be able to reuse Ugin's ability. Do they have an instant speed removal? Oh, just a bounce. That's not going to do a huge amount for you. Ugin is a cast ability as well. So even if they counter it, we still get the trigger. Take out the Lanor Elves. Let's see what they do. They do let us draw it. But yeah, we can cast Emrakul anyway, so even pinging them for, well, I don't think 13 counts as a ping, but yeah. Our opponent goes first. We've got an alright hand. No ramp though. Well, apart from say colorless command. What does this Gonti do? Like all Gontis, it's a stealing spells deck. Next turn we play down Backrug Automaton. Which is going to start growing, but the Hall Creeper not being able to be blocked is kind of annoying. We might be able to exile it with colorless command. We will get down the Rising Chicane because we will play out the Chronicler. Ooh, there's a stick. Wash away on the Chronicler. Doesn't mean we don't draw cards. Well, we will play out the Calling Barons. That is just a 2, yeah. Let's get in with Patchy. And we hold up colorless command. X equals 2 to create 2 Scions. Two of those, 2 of those. So he might have a counter spell. No, you do have a counter spell. Do they have more counter spells? They do. Let's just do this. X equals 1. An ancient cornucopia. Say, do they stop blocking? Let's get in for 7. And we can grow the Market Vat Walker. And next turn we can cast Ugin. Our opponent is down to 9. That is quite low. But they got up to 12. I assume with the cornucopia, yeah. Yeah. Legend ruled themselves. Do we control 3 more artifacts? Oh, Rising Chicane's an artifact land. I'll keep the Sire. We take out Gonti. We can cast a Flesh Raker, assuming this resolves.
I grant you a boon. I will mend this scroll.
Let's take out the Cornucopia. Hitting for 6. And next turn we can just Ulamog. Why did they cast Cyclonic Rift on something which has walled? I'm fairly sure you get a warning that says, you sure you want to do that? And maybe they didn't realise why. It doesn't say, because it's got walled. It does say, sure you want to do that. So maybe it didn't click why. Our opponent goes first. It'll be interesting to see how Ugin does against control. We do start with Devour of Destiny. So we do get to have a look at our top 4. Hopefully we find another cheaper ramp piece. Or do we go with Patchy? Probably Mystic Forge. Or the Flesh Raker. Let's go with the Flesh Raker. We get down the Artificer, turn 2. Although, this is obviously, I imagine, going to get countered. Or not. We can cast a Flesh Raker next turn. Alright. You can still cast a Flesh Raker next turn. Let's see what's on top. I suppose more lands. Never going to hurt. Just full on control. Let's do this. X equals 2. And next turn we might stone and weak stone. Most likely draw in 2. Hall of the Storm Giants could be a problem. There is the fairy.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
You're just going to bounce? Yeah, that's going to bounce the Market Back Walker.
Let's take it back. Really should have seen that coming.
We will draw 2, and we can hold up Null Elemental Blast. Which is what we will do instead of playing out an Ornithopter. if they leave mana up, I think we just play the Devour. Probably exile their Journey to Nowhere. It does seem what they're doing. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why? Oh, can't be casting non-artifact spells. One, two, three. We'll do Market Back Walker for 2. It's a big boy. Oh, let's let down Worm Coil Engine, or at least let's try and cast Worm Coil Engine. It's an odd counter spell to play in Brawl, so it doesn't really do anything. Extra, I suppose. Come on, cast the fairy. There we go. Obviously, they can still have... but let's get rid of their Great Shark. They can still have Pact.
I grant you. I will mend. Energy.
Go to their Journey to Nowhere.
Preparation yields success.
Obviously, we get down onto Fairy, they can bounce Ugin. We have quite a bit of mana.
My plan bears fruit. Knowledge, curiosity, and wonder drive civilization, not the fabric of the multi.
I bizarrely don't want to play these out. Just because we have nothing to... We have nothing to... exile with them. Guardian attack now.
I'm home. Keep watch for intruders.
We can ultimate
Blades
Ugin next turn. Which we probably do. We still get the card. Right, let's proliferate. Let's just take out their Wandering Emperor. Yeah, beat the control deck. Pretty impressed with that. I think we got a mulligan because this is just too expensive. This is better. I suppose it doesn't really matter. Turn 2, Ornithopter. Turn 3, Relic probably? The Signet. So next turn we'll be seeing Pock. Next turn we can Ugin. So hopefully we can just exile Pock. Hopefully don't have a protection spell. But obviously they have all the mana in the world. Oh, we can't. 4, 4. Oh yeah, for some reason I can't count. So we're going to take a hit, but it's not the end of the world. That is an issue. Yeah, that's a big issue. We need to draw a cheap spell. That should do it. Let's take out Baloths. Let's take out other Baloths. Let's take out Pock. We've got the good game.
Knowledge is a virtue.
We can take a hit of 4 from the Baloth. The beast. The next turn we can Breaker of Creation. And draw with Ugin. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7, but 6, 7, 10, 13, potentially 14 for an artifact. Alright.
You cannot pierce my skin.
Let's tick up. And yeah, we exile Pock with Break of Creation. We then cast the Obelisk, exile the other beast, and yeah, we have 2 blockers for their very small creatures. And we're about to gain 11 from Break of Creation. So basically the matchup that doesn't matter. But we are on the draw, which is... because obviously Ugin can't take out anything. Let's get our speed going. If we can get up to Ugin the Ineffable, can we beat down our opponent? There's a hangerback walker. They are just ramping with their Wayfarer's Bauble. We'll get down Pristine Talisman. And then next turn we can get down the Obelisk. Problem is, both are going to be just gaining 3 life a turn. Oh, I should have gained... should have gained 3 there. Yeah, let's get down Ugin. And market back walker. Obviously, Seascape Leveler can destroy Ugin. Their Ugin. And it will be hard for them to take out. So I think we play Ugin, other Ugin, probably play the Chain Veil. Our opponent is taking their time over thinking about what to do. Wow. You have 2 mana. Do they see the futility of this matchup as well? I think they do. Well, let's Ugin. I think our opponent's just given up. They were like, this card's so powerful. Oh, but wait. Yeah, ridiculous. Come on, man. Oh, this frustrates me so much. Like, just concede. Oh, there they go. They are there. Maybe they DC'd. Maybe we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Belongs to the patient eye. Will put an end to this insight. Is
Tomb of a Spirit Dragon. Spirit Dragon. Let's Obelisk. And let's Matter Reshape up. And let's tick up, I say, Baby Ugin.
Ether itself serves me.
We won't attack. Next turn we probably get back Cityscape Leveler. Yeah, there's Ugin. And we can cast it pretty easy, I think.
Goals align, so you have spent this mana wisely.
This Covenant Skill's a good one.
Power belongs to the patient.
Jameer was a good draw as well. Value. Well, let's get it back. They do have protection at the moment, so...
Persist would be folly. I am the master of this world. The fabric of the multiverse obeys me.
Yeah, we will lose 2 life. Because we... Oh no, we have activated Loyalty Ability. Of course we have.
Mine is the power of eons.
We could ultimate Ugin. And basically search up our entire deck. I don't much see the point of that. Palladium here. Oh, if they get Day of Judgment. Or a way to destroy our Cityscape Leveler, that would be a shame. Let's tick up. Let's tick up. Let's activate the Chain Veil. Let's tick up. let's tick up. Let's get down Soulstone Sanctuary. Let's get down Fort Knots here. See what they got with Key to the Archive. Can take the Day of Judgment. I don't really need more card draw at the moment. Let's get rid of the Palladium here.
It's the power of eons.
Obviously, Ulamog. But I think we'll be alright.
My resources.
Because we do have Ulamog as well. Yeah, there is Ulamog. Is it just 2 Ugins? No, leveler makes sense.
I must formulate a new
And our Ugin. Problem is, they might be able to mill us out. I would love to draw our Ulamog or one of our big Eldrazi. So I think we do 1 ring. You've got a colorless command. We know that. Fair enough. Ornithopter Paradise. Well, it's Conduit Pylons to Surveil. Don't think we need that. Let's just draw.
I will mend. Open your
Devour of Destiny doesn't do it because it's 1 or more colours as well.
knowledge is a virtue.
We have hit a bit of a critical mass of lands. I suppose we should have ultimate, if we can ultimate Ugin. It's a blocker. So hopefully, I imagine they're going to attack. Or maybe they don't, but we can Chain Veil to tick up Ugin Ivor Storm, then Ultimate, hopefully get our own Ulamog or Emrakul or something. We can play that for free. And that should be it. There is Ugin. They're going to be able to gain life, obviously.
My counsel. I will put an end to this conflict. Focus. Breathe.
Fair enough.
My resources are yours.
They can draw a few cards. What have they got left? Not a lot of removal in colorless.
Power belongs to the patient.
Do they attack? They do not. So that should be it. So we tick up. I'm not going to tick up in case we exile Ulamog. We could literally fetch almost our entire deck. Emrakul, Emrakul, Ulamog, Ulamog, Portal, Breaker, Forsaken Monument. I think that will do for now. So Letters, Portal. I think we could have done this earlier as well. And I think this is where our opponent scoops. Not scoops, just ropes. Yeah, there was a turn earlier where we had 11 loyalty. And I didn't use a Chain Veil, so we could have done it. But that was before they played Ulamog, because they exiled Ugin with Ulamog. But yeah, this is where they just mope out. Probably could have actually just Ulamog, Emrakul to take control of their board. I honestly don't know where we definitely do have lethal. But yeah, I don't think our opponent's there. You might say it's a bit BM just doing all that when, you know, we don't need to, but our opponent is roping when they don't need to. And could have played the Forsaken Monument first to gain a ton of life, but we're at 71. I think we're okay. Yeah, we did get a bit lucky. Drawing things like Cityscape Leveler. But, yeah, this is obviously... Ugin is designed for non-colourless decks, so... But interesting to see how it performs in the mirror match.